Welcome to Masterpiece of Trash, a show where we take an anime and decide whether it should be held up on a pedestal for the rest of time, or whether it should be thrown in with the rest of the garbage. This week we're looking at Ninja Slayer from animation, so let's get started. Ninja Slayer is the follow-up series by Studio Trigger. They cut off from well-known Studio Gainax. Trigger made a big name for themselves when they released the hit show Kill la Kill, so a lot of people were really hyped for the next big entry into the anime franchise. That's when they released trailers for Ninja Slayer from animation, based on a series of novels meant to poke fun at the over-stylized American ninja action movies of the past. The animation in the trailers looked great, the show looked like it was going to have so much to offer. I was so hyped to start it up. Then, wait, it's just Inferno Cop. It's Flash animation. He's sliding along the screen. Oh. I'm assuming this is where most people raged and instantly stopped watching. So before making Kill la Kill, Studio Trigger released Inferno Cop, a net series which was all done in Flash animation about a flaming skeleton police officer. He travels back in time, helps a dinosaur, the usual stuff. So when Ninja Slayer from animation was coming out, people expected it to be the hype, big, flamboyant sort of show that Kill la Kill was, not the ridiculous Flash animation show which we got from Inferno Cop. But wait, I'm willing to give anything a chance, so I watched the entire show. I think it's easiest to start off with the animation. This does have its own cutscenes, which, I'm calling them cutscenes. This does have its own parts of animation outside of the Flash segments, which look really nice. The character models are done great, it's very vibrant in colour, and the animation's generally very smooth. For a lot of people, they probably thought it was a shame that the whole show wasn't animated like this. They even have some segments like repeated. They do the triple take to make fun of the cheesy old styles of action, and these parts are really enjoyable. For the main part of the show though, it's all done in Flash animation. Now this is both good and bad. Normally I hate Flash animation shows, but for the sake of short comedies like this, it's usually pretty well done. However, we do have a 26 episode show, and the joke does start to get very tiring, especially around the halfway point. But what is the plot of this show? Well, we have a Japanese salaryman, already points from me, whose family are murdered by ninjas, and so he inherits the soul of the Ninja Slayer, a ninja who slays ninjas. And it's sort of like he has an evil spirit inside him trying to get out thing, like we've seen in stuff like Bleach, but not as lame as in Bleach, so that's okay. The plot itself isn't too terrible. A lot of it is based off cheesy action movies. As I've said before, he eats sushi to power up, comes up with ridiculous big attacks. It is fun. However, it does have struggles with tone. Occasionally the show tries to be more than it actually is. It tries to build up a plot, it tries to have drama, and it does and it doesn't work. I feel like it concentrates on it too much. The show is primarily an action comedy. However, a lot of the comedy is purely based through the animation style and the over-exaggerated ways that it has. And it does get really tiring very quickly. It doesn't work throughout. It's not a show which had me laughing out loud. Onto characters, I really like each character's designs. The random enemy ninjas are all really fun. Some of them are really stupid. It kept the show interesting. It kept me watching. Without these, I probably would have stopped. And even though you'd expect the show to just concentrate on this Ninja Slayer fighting new people each week, there were its own arcs, and they were really well contained. You have the one about the girl making origami who ends up becoming a ninja and sort of like his protege. You had the hacker who was obviously the American blonde busty woman in the leather suit, which was funny. The show doesn't have much in the way of fan service, so I was fine with this sort of thing being in it, even if it was overplayed at times. You had it referencing a lot of tropes, but a lot of cool Japanese tropes, which I think held up fairly well. The music in this show is another strong point of it. It's very varied. Each episode has its own unique ending outro theme, and it was a really nice thing to listen to and watch. The music generally went really well, and the opening itself was excellent. However, the opening does use scenes from the show, which is one thing I do dislike in particular. some of them in this opening seem really out of place. So the show, you can see why it got a lot of hatred. It wasn't what people wanted, it wasn't what people were expecting in the least. It initially turned a lot of people off with its weird animation style, its weird, really niche audience, which I am one of the few people that fit into. And due to its really large pacing issues and loss of comedy along the way, I can see why a lot of people drop the show. I mean, there's only one really where I can answer the question when it comes to masterpiece or trash. It's obviously just I can't do it. I really enjoyed this show. It's got so much wrong with it. It's not a good show by any means, but it is an entertaining show. If you fall into that niche audience who likes cheesy ninja movies of the past, they like tropes, they like a dark version of the main character, they like fight for possession of your own body, they like character getting amnesia and then he has to work to remind her of her past. It's really stupid, but it's really enjoyable if you can stick with it. It's not an easy watch by any means. It's one of its main issues, and the show definitely is not a masterpiece by any means. It probably deserves the title of trash, but it is enjoyable. I wouldn't totally pass this show up. It seems like the sort of thing that would interest you. So overall, I'm gonna give this show 5.5 comedically exploding ninjas out of 10, with a recommendation to try it if it seems like your sort of thing, which probably isn't true because it's extremely niche. So that was Western Otaku, and I hope you liked this video. You can check out one of my previous videos looking at Your Name, Mobile Suit Gundam, or my super way too in-depth look at the art industry in general. Keep tuned for more entries, and until next time,